And over the last several years, I've been able to amass over 200 5-star Google reviews because I want to do a good job. I'm not perfect, but I try to do a good job.
Yeah, that's amazing. My goodness, 200 5-star reviews from Google. That's an incredible record for sure.
Welcome to the Dream Home Podcast, the show where real estate meets real talk. Hosted by John Nagle, a seasoned expert with over $7 billion in real estate financing experience. This podcast features top realtors, builders, and financial pros. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we've got the tools to help you make smarter moves. Here's your host, John Nagle.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Dream Home Podcast, the show that gives you the inside scoop on what's happening in today's housing market, from expert insights to powerful success stories that help you make confident, informed decisions on your home ownership journey. I'm your host, John Nagle with CMG Home Loans, and today we're talking about how to win in this competitive real estate market, and we've got just the person to show you how. Joining us is Brian Stevens, a seasoned real estate expert with over 25 years of experience serving Central Florida. Based in Lakeland, Brian is more than just a top-producing realtor. He's a trusted local resource who's helped hundreds of families, buyers, and sellers navigate every kind of market. His career began with a strong foundation, literally. His father was a custom home builder, and Brian grew up touring job sites, working in model homes, and learning the business from the ground up. That early experience gave him a builder's perspective, which today helps his clients make smarter choices when evaluating a home's quality, location, and long-term value. But what really sets Brian apart is his client-first mindset. He's known for being honest, attentive, and fiercely committed to doing what's right. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest advice and smart strategy. Brian's built a referral-based business through integrity, hard work, and personal service. He's been married to his wife, Jean, for 25 years, is a proud dad to 3 children, Rachel, Andrew, and Matthew, and loves staying active, giving back to his Lakeland community, and cheering on the Tampa Bay Bucks. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in Central Florida, this episode is packed with practical, proven tips that you won't want to miss. Brian, thanks for being here. Let's dive in. You've been in the business for decades. What would you say is your real estate superpower?
Hey, John, thank you so much for having me on today. I really, really do appreciate the opportunity. I would say my superpower is the fact that I've been in Lakeland over 50 years, 50 years. I know I don't look that old, thank you, but I have been here that long, believe it or not. And I say 50 because it's not 15, it's 50. So I think my long-term relationships, knowing a lot about the area, still learning all the time where different streets are, different, subdivisions popping up, but probably the fact that I've just got deep roots here, a lot of connections, raised my kids here. And again, I was kind of raised here, from elementary to high school to college, you name it. So I love Lakeland, love Central Florida. So I think that's kind of given me a leg up on, this wonderful career as a real estate agent.
Okay, that's awesome. That is a little while you've been there, isn't it? 50 years, my goodness.
Yes.
And during that time, you've seen many shifts in the market. What's helped you stay consistently successful through it all?
That's a good question. I have been through the short sale, been through when it boomed before the short sale, been through COVID. And I'd say just continuing to do the activities day in and day out and staying in the market. I'm in this like yourself for a long-term play. I mean, this is my career. This is my livelihood. I love serving other people in this. So I'm not just a one and done kind of real estate agent. I want to build relationships, help people, really serve them, help them. And if you keep your eye on really just helping people and helping them navigate, for a real estate transaction, whether you're buying or selling, I think having that servant mindset gives you that long-term perspective that, the dollars will fall where they're supposed to, but when you got to help people and serve people, it helps you weather the storms no matter what the case is.
Yeah, well, I think that's an excellent strategy and has obviously been very successful for you. So one of the things that comes up a lot is how confusing this market can be for first-time home buyers. What's your approach to helping someone who's overwhelmed or unsure where to start?
I get a lot of that. The first time home buyers call or text and say, hey, what do I do first? Where do I start? And, working with a good lender like yourself, putting them in front of you to get pre-approved, pre-qualified is key. I had a call the other day on one of my listings, and she said, what do I do first? And so what I do is I do a mini needs analysis over the phone, right? And just find out about them, what they're looking for, what their needs are, maybe ask them a little bit where they work. Um, if they volunteer credit score, I may just go down that road, but I'm not a lender, and I tell them I'm not a lender, and just kind of find out a little bit about them. If they save a little bit of money for down payment, and also just listen to their needs. However, my first step is really going to be, have you talked to a lender yet? Because we've got to get you pre-approved first so we can find out how much home you can afford. And I tell them, I don't want to show you something for 300,000 when you're approved for 250. I don't want to set a wrong expectation. So that's really the first step. And then I ensure them that I'm going to be there for them on their inspections, their appraisal, the walkthroughs, to work through any challenges that are going to arise, because it's a real estate transaction. There will be things that arise, right? It's just part of, we try to solve problems. That's our job. So based on that, I just tell them I'll be there with them every step of the way. And I'm going to do such a good job for them that I'm going to ask for a Google 5-star review whenever we go to closing. So I kind of plant the seed there. And over the last several years, I've been able to amass over 200 5-star Google reviews, because I want to do a good job. I'm not perfect, but I try to do a good job.
Yeah, that's amazing. My goodness, 200 5-star reviews from Google. That's an incredible record for sure. So can you give us an example of a client who you helped through a tough situation?
Which one, right? I mean, geez, I mean, there's always something, honestly. I'd say, boy, it's, man, there's so, it seems like every single deal there's a challenge to it. You probably see that as a lender. There's
Yes.
always something we can walk through. But probably recently I found that sometimes people don't understand that whenever you're buying a home, it's sold as is, right, to inspect, but yet they want to ask for a bunch of repairs, and the seller's under no obligation to do that. So to answer that, I'd say the continuous thing is to help buyers understand you're buying it as is, right, to inspect. You can cancel during the inspection period. But if something major comes up, like a roof, an AC, electrical, plumbing, something big, you're able to get out of the contract, get your deposit back, and move on. However, you can also ask them to fix some cosmetic things, to which they can say yes, no, go take a hike, I'll give you $500, whatever the case may be. So I think navigating that with home buyers right now, helping them to understand that, as well as on the seller side, has been probably some of the challenges and people, things that I've walked people through recently in the last several months.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of those feel-good moments. Is there a buyer or family you worked with that really left a mark on you?
Well, just recently, I've got a YouTube channel. I'm pretty active, and I've recorded walkthrough videos. I had a couple from New York call me. Actually, they messaged me about 3 months ago. Hey, Brian, we've always wanted to move to Florida. We'd love to connect with you. We watch your YouTube videos. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. So they came down here. They sold their home in New York. They came down here with cash. They said, we want to buy a house. And sure enough, I met them. I showed them 3 houses that they had picked out, none of which were, they looked okay online, but we went and walked through them, and they just weren't meeting up to their expectations they were looking for. And so we were coming to the end of the 2-hour time frame, and I had a listing in South Lakeland that didn't have a garage, which they wanted a garage, so I didn't put it on my list. But I said, hey, I've got something. It's a gorgeous home. It's only 2 years old. Doesn't have a garage, but do you want to see it? I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I've got time. We went to that house. They fell in love with it. It was my listing. I knew the home very well. They bought it, put a contract on the next day, and they just put up their fence. I drove by it the other day, and they're living there, and they're so happy. And they're borderline empty nesters, and her sister's down here. They're just super happy to be in Florida from New York, and they're very nice people. So that was a really cool thing that God just kind of put together on a whim. We didn't even see that coming, but it was kind of neat how that all got put together.
Yeah, that is an awesome story for sure. And when you think of your long career, Brian, what are you most proud of?
John, I'm most proud of that. I really just try to act with integrity, honesty, treat people right, treat people fair, and do a good job. Work hard for them. You know, you can be nice to people, but you can be lazy. So I pride myself on working hard, and yet trying to have work-life balance, right? Not go too crazy, but just really treating people right, being honest with them, even if sometimes those conversations are very frank or not what they want to hear. I've learned over time that people really do want to hear what you're thinking about their offer or their price or the situation. And so once they give us that opportunity to open the door and present that, great. But I think just being having honesty and integrity and walking them through the process is very rewarding and has really helped along the way.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely key because it's that key to your repeat referral business is why you're getting all that business because you take care of people and you're fair and honest in dealing with them. So they're going to send you their friends and family for the future business.
Yes.
All right, so let's switch gears for a second. What tools or resources do you use that really enhance the client experience?
Well, yeah, really been gearing into YouTube lately. And I know we'll talk about marketing a little bit, but I wanted, here's what happened. About 4 or 5 years ago, I remember walking through or showing a buyer a house. We finished up. I showed them 3 or 4 homes. They were really kind of set on this one home. They really liked it. And I said, hey, do you want me to do a video of this house? You seem to like it, and you're not going to remember all the homes we looked at. And they went, that'd be great. So I got my phone out. I walked through the home and I videoed it. I don't know if I talked. I just kind of, whatever I did this way, that way, saved it 5 minutes long. And I went to text it to them in an email. And that doesn't work. It's too long. So I thought, what do I do? They want to see this house. Where can I put this video and send it to them? And I thought, YouTube. I don't really do YouTube. So I started an account, Google, YouTube, started, dropped it on YouTube, sent them the link. They loved it. They thought, this is so cool. I can share this with people. Watch, because rather than house it on my server, I put it on YouTube server. And that was the start of doing video walkthroughs. That was just a huge tool in my really being able to serve people well. And now I love doing video walkthroughs and trying to always get better. But people love watching them. And it's awesome. It's fun. In fact, right behind me, you can see my channel. I've got a whole bunch of video walkthroughs on it, and they're just a blast.
Yeah, well, it's fun because it gives the buyer perspective. You know, it's funny. It's a funny story how you came about that. I've heard of that for people that are buying from out of state and they want to, kind of do a walkthrough before they get there. But that's such a creative solution you came up with to do the walkthrough and then upload it to YouTube. And then it turned out you being a big YouTuber. And
they can watch it from anywhere in the country. I mean, they can share it. I know. It's just, and honestly, this is the truth. The last 12 months, I'm still getting used to people texting me or emailing me going, I watch you on YouTube. Part of me it's like the imposter syndrome, as they say. I'm going, you watch my stuff on YouTube? Do you really? I mean, but it is a great, it's a great way to market and advertise. And all it does is cost me some time. And I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, and this is kind of a related question. So we're talking about marketing, and I know your social media presence is strong, and we just talked a bit about YouTube. And how has that played into the role of helping you to gain clients?
I think we always want our clients to try to know, like, and trust us. And I think YouTube and Facebook have been my main go-to. I find that the Facebook is, I'm going to call it is for all generations, but it seems like my Facebook is 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, that age group. And so they're watching my Facebook, they're local. And guess what, John? People who are in that age range, they have money. They can qualify for a loan, right? Because they've got jobs. Now that's not to say that people in the 20s don't hear that. It's just that some of the older crowd that somewhat gravitate toward Facebook, they can get pre-qualified, and they are some of them tend to be a little bit further along in life to where they are stronger buyers. Now, I will say this for YouTube. I looked at my numbers, my stats on YouTube the other day. I don't do a lot of that, but I'm trying to get better at it. And I saw my average age for YouTube was like 55 to 64. It's like a third of my audience is on YouTube, and not on the phone, but on the TV. They're watching it.
My goodness.
I'm learning so much, honestly. I'm just like, wow, people really watch YouTube on TV in that age range that much. And yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah, that's astounding. I would never have guessed that statistic, especially on the TV, because that's sort of a modern day thing where you can watch YouTube on the TV anyway. It's not something that's been around for decades, right?
No. So hopefully that'll encourage some of your audience that, try this YouTube thing. It really does work. And again, I feel like I'm still such a medium rookie on it, but there's so much room for growth, and it's fun.
Yeah, very fun. So for someone who's never worked with a realtor before, can you walk us through what they can expect when they call you?
Yeah, John, they can expect professionalism. They're going to expect a direct approach, really just a helpful approach, depending on where they're coming from. I really tried to listen to the needs of my client. Are you ready to go now? Do you need a couple months? Are you early in the process? Where are you with your buying or selling process? So I think it's just so important to show professionalism. This is one of the largest spending decisions they're going to make in their life, right? Mm-hmm. So I want them to understand. They don't have to understand everything, because I don't want to overwhelm them with information, but enough to where they feel comfortable. They've asked a lot of questions. I've asked a lot of questions to find out about them, and that they feel comfortable and trustworthy with that conversation with me, and that putting the right people, reassuring them that I'm going to put the right people around them in the process. A great lender, a great title company, a great home inspector, all the different pieces that are going to help you to purchase your home and to have a good experience are so important to me. So we do our best to give you and surround you with the right people, that it will be a great experience for you.
Yeah, that's really a great point. It really is a team effort, because if you don't have those pieces, and I'm that home buyer coming in there and I don't know who to call for my home inspection and so on, that I can trust, that's a big benefit to that buyer, to have, your known trustworthy contacts that are helping them through the process and all those different pieces of the puzzle. And it's a complicated puzzle if you're not, buying homes every day, which most people are definitely not. So what would you say to someone listening right now who's on the fence about getting started?
Get started like yesterday. My dad used to say, don't wait and buy real estate, buy real estate and wait.
Oh, that's a great saying. I like that.
Yes. My dad was a home builder for 25 years, a production builder right here in Central Florida, did very well. And I learned a lot from him. So Don't wait and buy real estate and wait.
I love that. I love that saying. That's terrific. Mm-hmm. So Brian, this has been awesome. Thank you for sharing your story and your tips. You clearly have built something special, and it's easy to see why so many clients trust you. For anyone listening who's thinking about buying or selling in Lakeland or anywhere in Central Florida, Brian is the guy to call. You can connect with him directly at brianstevens.org. We'll include that along with his social media and Zillow profile in the show notes. And if you're ready to explore financing options, whether you're buying now or planning for the future, I'd love to help. Visit dreamhomepodcast.com or reach out to me, John Nagle at CMG Home Loans. And don't forget, before you go, subscribe to the Dream Home Podcast on your favorite podcast app. Hit that bell on YouTube to get new episodes as soon as they drop. And share this episode with someone who's thinking about real estate. They'll thank you later. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Dream Home Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Dream Home Podcast, hosted by John Nagle. Ready to take the next step toward your dream home? Visit www.dreamhomepodcast.com for resources, tips, and expert advice. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time for more real estate insights and mortgage tips. Until then, happy home hunting.